Okay, so today's video. Oh, also happy election week. It's been so insane, but I actually low-key love seeing all the memes that people are coming up with on Facebook. So it's been kind of entertaining, but hopefully you had a fun time voting and that anxiously awaiting for the new president to be announced isn't giving you too much anxiety. So today I'm doing something a little bit different that I haven't done before, but I'm going to be planning on doing. I plan on doing a test wear of the foundation that I've been talking about in my last few videos. I'm going to be putting on with you today and kind of doing both using a brush and a sponge and basically putting it to the test. And then I will do checkups throughout the day. And I'm also doing a good workout this afternoon. So you're going to be able to see how it wears through sweat. Although my workouts get kind of gross, and so you can't judge me too harshly for that. And so we can go ahead and get started. So the foundation that I'm going to be testing, I have 3 different shades. Ooh, I'm dropping things now. Is the Glamoflage from Hard Candy. I'll show you. This is what it looks like. Oh, there you go. For some reason they have it in like both a pink lid and a black lid. And originally all I had was the black lid because it was summer, so I had these 2 darker shades. But when I went to go get a lighter shade, because I'm like super pasty, it's the perks of having, you know, that Scottish background. I don't think there's a difference when, at least like testing it and wearing it and like that kind of thing. I haven't noticed a difference between like the black lid and the pink lid. But I'm assuming they're the same. They just decided to repackage or possibly just have like different colors in the line. I don't really know, nor do I really care about packaging that much, I guess. But we're gonna go ahead and get started so that way you can kind of see how it wears. And I have my hair up right now just because I haven't curled it yet, and I washed it and I washed it yesterday. And I haven't curled my hair yet, and I washed it yesterday, so it's kind of just everywhere. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And of course, as you know, my 2 primers that I use on myself every single day are the Becca Evermatte Poreless Priming, which I really like just because it does fill in my pores and it smooths out my face a little bit. And right now I'm on Accutane, so my skin is just like dry as freaking crap. But actually this week it's feeling really good. It hasn't been too bad just because I use the Cetaphil moisturizer. It works really well with my skin and it doesn't make me break out. And before I started Accutane, it made my skin like really oily, like around my T-zone. But then like I started Accutane and my skin was like dry, but like still had the oil around here. So I was like, what is happening? And it made me like never want to wear makeup just because I didn't want to clog my pores. But then I was at work and I got a little bottle of tea tree oil and I've been putting it in like everything. I put it in my shampoo, my conditioner, I mixed it in with my moisturizer, and my skin has just been feeling so much better. Like, holy cow, that makes such a difference. But tea tree oil is amazing. Anyway, so I'm going to be cleansing my skin really quick just because I want as clear of a base as possible. And I washed my face this morning, but it's already been like a little bit of time. So to cleanse my skin, I'm going to be using the Trader Joe's Spa Natural Facial Cleansing Pads with tea tree oil. I think I'm just on a tea tree oil kick. I think that's really what this is about. But they look like this. They're really awesome. I keep them. Oh no, I dropped my lid. I keep them in my car and like in my house because I like to use them right after I work out, just to like cleanse my skin. Plus they feel amazing. Oh my gosh, I love how it feels. So I really like them, and having freshly clean skin is important, and plus the tea tree oil in it will help calm your face, so it will help with like redness and like that kind of thing, or any kind of irritants. So that'll be really nice and really just convenient to have. But for today's look, I'm keeping it super simple, just because honestly it's like one of those days where I really just don't feel like wearing makeup. So I'm gonna do my best to, I guess, keep it just like very minimal so I don't have to be like caked on. Plus, like, honestly, one of the worst things in the world for me is just like taking my makeup off at night. I know it takes like 2 seconds, but in my mind, I'm like, that's the longest 2 seconds of my life. So yeah. And plus, like, I go to bed pretty, not like super late, it's like 12, which I'm sure to some people that's like super late, but to me that's like the normal. So like coming home from like the gym and stuff after like working out, and it's been like a long day here at school, and sometimes I have to go to work right after school, you know, sometimes that's like the last thing in the world that I feel like doing. Like, I'm just like, why can't I just like watch my Netflix or Hulu or whatever I'm doing instead of having to sit here and do that. But anyways, I don't know why I just went on that tangent. It is what it is. Okay, so my skin is prepped and ready to go. As far as my sponge that I'm using, I really very much enjoy the Real Techniques, or is that what it's called? Yeah, I think it's the Real Techniques sponge. It's like orange. Mine's kind of stained because I've had it for a little bit, but it's like super bouncy. And I've actually had the Beauty Blender, which is like basically the first sponge that kind of came on the market. It was huge, it was awesome. But I'm finding that I actually prefer the Real Techniques over the Beauty Blender. But I don't know, I might give it another try. The one time I did use it, I wasn't like in love with it. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that. And then for my brush, I'm using just like a normal face round brush, super simple. I got it in like a big pack of brushes on Amazon, so super simple, nothing super expensive. A lot of times my brushes aren't super expensive just because I feel like there are cheaper alternatives, and anyone that knows me knows that I am such a deal finder. I just love finding the best deal, and basically just I'm such a cheapskate, so I like my cheaper items that are still really good. Okay, so a fun fact about this has a doe foot applicator. For anyone that doesn't know what that is, it's basically an applicator that looks like this. It's almost like a lip gloss applicator, but for your face, or on a larger scale. And to cut out for a second. So as you open it, it kind of just distributes the foundation onto it. And honestly, this isn't my favorite kind of applicator just because it's not the most hygienic. I don't know, to me it kind of tends to collect a lot more bacteria, which can cause acne and like that kind of thing. So it's not my favorite type of packaging, but the product itself is still important and still really good, which is basically like my winter shade because I don't wear any kind of tanner. And how I like to apply it is I like to just like take it and dot it kind of just like everywhere, and sometimes it takes like going back into the bottle a couple times to make sure you get enough product. And then on this side of my face, I'm going to be using my sponge, and I basically just do it in sections so that way it's easier to blend out the dots versus letting it dry and then blending it out, because then you're stuck with these like little spots of dryness or like a dry foundation of where it was, which to me that kind of looks weird. So that's nice. So far as coverage, it seems to be more of a lighter coverage, but I bet if I just put a little bit more on, we could get it to be more of like a buildable coverage. Plus with like beauty sponges, it's kind of hard because they tend to grab product, and though it makes your skin look so good, it can also be really hard because it tends to absorb some of the product, and so you have to use a little bit more, essentially. That's the point I'm trying to make. Okay, but the finish is really pretty. I feel like it does a pretty good job at covering like my uneven texture, if that makes sense. Is that a way to describe that? I don't really know. But especially, so I've been using this foundation for a while now, and I think one of my favorite things about it is essentially like when you put it on, you don't, like you just feel like it's a normal regular foundation, not a ton of coverage and that kind of thing. But then when you pair it with like a powder, it's so nice. I feel like it just cancels out every imperfection that you could ever just personally struggle with. And I have really enjoyed that. Okay, now we're gonna be going in with the brush. Gotta make sure you blend down the neck so it's a flawless blend. My darn hair can sometimes get in the way. Does anyone else with like brown hair struggle with having, like when you're putting on your foundation, you get your foundation in your hair and then you're just stuck with these like randomly skin colored weird brown pieces? Is that just me? I doubt it is. For me, I feel like it's like the story of my life since I went brown. Oh yeah, I guess I went brown since I last made a video. Once I'm done doing my makeup, I'll curl my hair and then you guys can all see my brown hair, just to go a little bit darker for winter / the end of fall or whatever. So already with the brush, you definitely do get more coverage than when you use the sponge. And honestly, the finish is about the same. So that's nice. I'm just gonna go back in and smooth. I guess what's nice about this foundation, it's like a pro and con, is it dries down, which can be a really good sign that it's going to stay, which it does have a like guarantee of 16 hours. So we're definitely going to try to put that to the test. I don't know if we'll get through the whole 16 hours just because I don't want to be up till 3 in the morning. But we will see. I feel like if it is 16 hours, it can make it through makeup or workouts, because if you think about it, 16 hours, I don't know, it's like as if I were to go to a club or something. Not that I've ever been to one, but it's fine. Okay, so now it's on. And what I'm gonna set it with is my Milani compact. I freaking love this thing. At first I didn't. I just used it for like T-zone touch-ups when my face got really oily. But I've been really enjoying pairing this with the foundation to basically to cover up my splotches, or just like as your makeup wears and you want it to look nice again or freshen it up, whatever you feel like using. Oh yes, for my setting powder I'm using the Eco Tools, what is that, by Sam and Nick Chapman. Oh no, this is Real Techniques. I'm sorry, I totally just lied to you. I promise it wasn't intentional. I forgot what I was saying. Anyways, it's a great powder. I really like it. It's also really great for those midday touch-ups. Just because naturally I feel like especially during the summer, everyone's makeup kind of tends to start wearing off throughout the day. And so it's really nice to just have something that you can like freshen it up and look nice again. I know I like to do that. I'm sure some people don't, but it works well for me. And of course for my contour, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. This is like by far my favorite. I bought one before, so I served an LDS mission. I bought one before my mission, and I was so excited because my mom was like, she was getting me makeup so I could, look nice on the mission. And for some reason, I don't know why, I just was able to convince her to buy me this makeup. And so we go and we get it, and I'm just like, okay, I can't use it until I am like on my mission. Which now looking back, I'm like, why did I do that to myself? That literally doesn't make sense, or doesn't matter. And so I'm like so excited. I waited till the MTC, which for those of you that don't know, it's basically just a place where you go and you learn how to be a missionary. And so I go, and I had it for like a few weeks, and I'd only used it for like 2 of those weeks. And I had like a really bad day, and I was so freaking sad, just because of a few different things and whatever. And I was like getting ready for the day, and I was like, I'm gonna make myself feel better by putting on my makeup and looking like my normal self. And so like putting on this makeup, but I'm also really sad, and I freaking dropped the palette, and it like didn't just like drop like gracefully on the ground, and it was carpeted, but it's like hard carpet. It like hit the cupboard, then hit the chair, and then hit the floor. And I was just like, oh my gosh, my like $50 makeup palette just landed on the ground. Like it was a big oof. And I like see it, and it's just in pieces. Like it was so sad. I'll have to I have a picture of it, and so I'll put it in so you can see it. And it was just like so sad, and I was just so devastated because I was just like, oh my gosh, like my makeup palette. And like that was my last straw. Like I was done. And so I started crying, and my companion was like, Sister Nelson, like it's okay, like it's just a makeup palette. And it wasn't about the freaking makeup palette, which of course I was so sad about, but it was everything else that I was emotionally struggling with that was just gone. And I lost it. And she just was like, I don't really know how to help you, but it was super funny. And like now looking back at it, I just like laugh because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so dramatic. I mean, which I know I didn't cry because of the makeup palette, but it's still just like a funny story because my companion's just over there like, what? What does that mean? Or like, what happened? And so it was just super funny. And so then when I got home, or I think how I ended up getting, when I got home I ended up buying this makeup palette because I was just like, I have to give it a good shot because I know when I did have it, it was amazing. And I freaking loved it. Like, the texture is amazing. It's a good one. As far as blending with this foundation, I feel like it's wanting to grab a little bit. And I don't know if that's because it's just maybe it just needs to dry a little bit more before you apply powders. So that way you don't end up with like the skin just like being tugged at. But I'm sure that's just what it is. This foundation, 16 hours. Anyways, so I'm trying to think if I have another funny story about makeup. I don't really think so. I don't have too many stories pertaining to makeup. Although I remember this one time, I think like growing up, like I loved giving makeovers. It was just so fun for me. And I just like would always like ask my sisters, I'm like, can I give you a makeover? And I think I always did, or I did a few of their like homecoming makeup looks and like that kind of thing. And I remember this one time when I was like really young, I was like getting into makeup and I'd like sneak into my mom's. I don't think she even knows this, so Mom, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but low-key not, because it kind of got me into this. So like I would sneak into my mom's bathroom, and in her bathroom she had this like sink, like she had like her sink, and it was like a dual sink, one side for my dad and one side for her. And I would go underneath, and she had this like clear plastic bag just full of like all of her excess makeup that she didn't use every day. And I'd go and like steal makeup from her. And this one time I told my sister, I was like, hey, you should let me like do your hair and makeup and like style you and that kind of thing. And she was like, no, like I don't really like doing that, like makeup's not really my thing. And here I am being like, I think I was like, how old was I? Probably like 11 or 12, something like that. So I basically like, I got her all ready. I picked out her outfit. And so I was like, oh my gosh, you look so cute. And so what, I was like, we should take pictures. You know, like you look so good. We should just like go and do like a little photo shoot, because I think I got like a camera for Christmas or something like that. And I wanted to practice my photography, even though that literally didn't go anywhere. And so we like took pictures, or like we were taking pictures and stuff. And my sister was just like, I don't like this. Like, this isn't me. Like, this isn't, I don't like this. Like, delete all of the pictures and I'm gonna go, like, get ready. And I was just like, what? Like, I just spent hours doing that. And, like, this is so sad. And all of this stuff. But that's okay. That's actually happened a couple times where, like, just for fun, I did people's makeup. And then they were like, I don't ever wear makeup and I don't like this. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't really know what to tell you, you know? And so that's kind of a funny story. Sorry, I'm gonna blurp this out. I can't find my brush. My apologies. Okay, back to the makeup. So, of course, I'm going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade. This little guy. I use the shade Dip Brow. Oh, that's what it is. It's the Dip Brow pomade in ash brown. I've had this for so long. It's like funny because they give you so much and yet the expiration date says 6 months, but I've had mine for 2 years. Ooh. Still love it though. Like, it still works super well. And yes, it is a little bit more dried out than when I first got it. But I almost like it more just because then I have more control over how much product I'm using, which is always nice. But I just like to keep my eyebrows nice and simple. Nothing super crazy, especially on like a chill day like today. Just keeping it simple, keeping it natural. Like, I just woke up like this, even though I did not wake up with makeup. If only, right? I actually wish that there's a way that you could just like, sometimes like when you're really lazy, just like hit a button or something and like there's something that like slaps makeup on your face. Almost like the concept of, I guess, I don't know if anyone watching has seen Crudes, but like the concept of his like snapshot. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, like that concept of just like getting it on their face, then you don't have to put in the effort. And eventually I'll be uploading, or I'll be doing a video on like a super simple like 5-minute everyday kind of video. Okay, so now I'm going to, sorry, my stuff is dropping. So now I'm going to just put on my eyes and do my hair, and then we will do, I guess, a send off with how my final face is looking, and then I will do checkups throughout the day. Okay, so I have finished getting ready, and I guess now it's just see how the rest of the day goes with how it wears. This is my new blonde color. I've never been a blonde. I've either been a blonde or a brown, so it's kind of fun to do in between, and I'm really liking it. And this is the final makeup look. It's, yeah, now you can see it a little bit better. It's super simple. Like I said earlier, I really did not want it to be anything super heavy and that kind of thing, but I will be back to check on later. See ya. Okay, so I'm doing my check-in. It's been a few hours. Ignore my lips, they're so beyond chapped right now just because Accutane dries you out and I don't have chapstick, and neither does my friend Courtney, which I'm in her car right now. But this is how the foundation is looking. It looks good. Under the eyes is a little rough. I look tired, but that's probably because I am. But so far it looks really good. It's holding up really well. And I've had this on since 10 and it's now 3. So we're doing really good. I'll keep you updated. Okay, so I am here for my final check-in of this wear test. I didn't end up going to the gym today, but I'll have to let you know how it goes when I do go. But so far, with the end results, it's actually looking pretty good, and I would say it holds up super well for it being, I think, 8 hours of wear, and I will continue to wear it the rest of the night. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.